going to comment. I will not allow you to make any sort of judgments based on my comments.
Is that a fugitive of the law, Mr. Mallya?
No, correct.
What if flying in India suddenly stopped feeling boring and started feeling like luxury? There was a time when air travel was simple. You just got on a plane, reached your destination, and that was it. No style, no comfort, no excitement. But then something changed. A new airline entered the market. It looked different. It felt different. It promised comfort, style, and a premium experience in the sky. That airline was Kingfisher Airlines. At first, people were impressed. Everything looked clean, modern, and high class. It felt like India finally had a world-class airline. But here's the real question. Was it really as strong as it looked? Or was something hidden behind the luxury? Because behind this perfect image, a serious problem was slowly growing, and no one noticed it in time. Welcome to Meltdown Diaries. If you like real business stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. The man behind the dream. To understand this story, we first need to understand the man behind it. Vijay Mallya was one of the most well-known businessmen in India. He was famous for luxury brands, expensive cars, grand parties, and a very flashy lifestyle. Because of this image, people often called him the king of good times. That idea of luxury and style became the base of Kingfisher Airlines. The goal was simple but bold. Make flying feel like a premium experience, not just a normal way to travel from one place to another. But here comes the real question. Can luxury alone make an airline successful? Because building a dream is one thing, but running it in the real world is something completely different. Turning that idea into a stable, profitable business was far more difficult than it first looked. The launch of Kingfisher Airlines. In 2005, Kingfisher Airlines officially began its operations in India. From the very first day, it felt different from other airlines in the country. Passengers quickly noticed the change. The cabins felt more comfortable and modern. The cabin crew looked well-dressed, stylish, and professional. The food and service were better than what people usually expected from flights at that time. Everything gave a sense of premium travel. It was not just about going from one city to another, it was about the overall experience in the air. Because of this, the airline quickly became popular, especially among business travelers and upper-middle-class passengers who wanted more comfort while flying. But behind this success, there was a hidden truth that many people did not think about at first. Luxury services cost a lot of money, and maintaining that level of service was extremely expensive in the long run. The business problem no one saw early. Running an airline is already one of the most expensive businesses in the world. There are many constant costs that never stop. Fuel is needed for every flight. Aircraft need regular maintenance to stay safe. Airports charge fees for landing and takeoff. Staff salaries must be paid every month. And safety operations are always required because passenger safety comes first. Now imagine adding luxury on top of all this. Better meals for passengers. Premium seating with more space and comfort. Extra cabin staff for better service. Higher overall service quality in every detail. All of this increases costs even more. At first, Kingfisher Airlines was still new, so the financial losses were not clearly visible to everyone. The brand still looked strong on the outside. But slowly, a serious problem started building. Money was going out faster than it was coming in. And this is where the real financial trouble began for the airline. Expansion that made things worse. Instead of slowing down and fixing rising costs, Kingfisher Airlines chose to expand its business. In 2007, the company made a major decision. It acquired Air Deccan, which was a low-cost airline in India. This was a big and risky move because it completely changed the direction of the business. Now, Kingfisher was managing two very different airline models at the same time. 1. A luxury airline focused on premium service, Kingfisher Premium. 2. A budget airline focused on low-cost travel. Both of these had different types of customers, different pricing systems, and completely different operations. Trying to run both together became very difficult. Costs started rising even more. Business operations became more complicated. Internal confusion increased. But despite all this expansion and effort, profits did not improve. And this decision added even more pressure to an already struggling business. The debt begins to grow. As expenses kept increasing, Kingfisher Airlines needed more money just to stay alive. So the company started borrowing from banks and financial institutions. At first, these loans helped the airline continue its daily operations. Flights were still running and the brand still looked stable on the outside. But over time, borrowing money became a regular habit instead of a temporary solution. Instead of fixing the real problems in the business model, the company kept using new loans to pay for old losses. This created a dangerous cycle. Borrow money, cover losses, borrow again. Banks continued to give loans because Kingfisher still looked like a strong and successful brand from the outside. The image of luxury and success gave confidence to lenders. But inside the company, the reality was very different. Financial pressure was increasing, debts were growing, and the situation was slowly getting worse day by day without a real solution. When the cracks started to show, for a long time, everything still looked normal to the public. Kingfisher Airlines flights were still operating, advertisements were still running, and the brand still appeared premium and successful from the outside. But inside the company, serious problems were growing quickly. Employees started noticing warning signs like delayed salaries, unpaid wages, and rising uncertainty about their future. Many engineers and pilots began leaving the company because they were not getting paid on time. This increased pressure on the remaining staff. Operations became harder to manage, and flight delays started happening more often. Slowly, the system inside the airline was breaking down. Fuel costs and global pressure. Another major problem for Kingfisher Airlines was fuel cost. Airline fuel is one of the biggest expenses in aviation, and during that time, fuel prices were rising around the world. This affected all airlines, but Kingfisher was hit harder than most. It already had very high costs because of its luxury services. It was also carrying heavy debt. On top of that, the airline was not earning enough profit to balance its spending. So when fuel prices increased, the pressure became even worse. Every flight became more expensive to operate, and the financial situation kept getting tighter day by day. The cash flow crisis. By 2011-2012, the situation at Kingfisher Airlines became very serious. Cash flow means the money needed to run daily business operations, and at this stage, the airline was running out of it. This created major problems across the company. Fuel payments were often delayed, which affected flight operations. Employees were not receiving their salaries on time. Aircraft maintenance was also impacted, raising safety and operational concerns. Because of these issues, many flights had to be canceled. At this point, the airline was no longer functioning normally. It was simply surviving day by day, trying to stay afloat without stable finances. Flights began to stop. As financial problems grew, Kingfisher Airlines operations became unstable. Flights were often canceled, causing frustration among passengers. Trust in the airline quickly disappeared. Airports began seeing more grounded aircraft. What was once known for luxury and comfort slowly became unreliable and uncertain for travelers. The final collapse. In 2012, Kingfisher Airlines completely shut down its operations. The airline could no longer continue because its financial situation had become impossible to manage. Debts had grown too high over time, and the company had no cash left to support daily operations. Running the airline was no longer sustainable in any way. As a result, thousands of employees lost their jobs. Many passengers were also affected due to canceled bookings and disrupted plans. Banks and financial institutions were left with large unpaid loans. A once famous airline that symbolized luxury and comfort had finally collapsed completely. The main reasons for failure. Now let's break down the real reasons in simple terms. 1. Wrong business model. Kingfisher focused on luxury in a market that preferred affordable travel. Most passengers in India wanted low-cost flights, not premium services. 2. Too much debt. The company borrowed heavily over time, and it could not generate enough profit to repay loans. 3. Failed expansion strategy. The acquisition of Air Deccan created confusion and increased costs. 2 different airline models under one company did not work well. 4. High operating costs. Luxury services made the airline expensive to run. Costs were higher than revenue for a long time. 5. External pressure. Fuel price increases and strong competition made the situation worse. Other low-cost airlines were growing faster and more efficiently. The human impact. Behind the collapse of Kingfisher Airlines were real people whose lives were deeply affected. Employees suffered the most during the crisis. Many went months without receiving salaries. Others suddenly lost their jobs without warning. This created serious financial stress for them and their families. For these workers, it was not just a business failure on paper. It was a personal crisis that changed their daily lives. Passengers were also affected. Many faced flight cancellations, delays, and uncertainty about their travel plans. What looked like a corporate failure from the outside had a very real human impact on everyone involved. What this story teaches us? The story of Kingfisher Airlines is not just about aviation. It teaches important business lessons. Lesson 1. Image is not enough. A strong brand cannot save a weak business model. Lesson 2. Debt must be controlled. Borrowing too much can destroy even big companies. Lesson 3. Market understanding is key. A business must match what customers actually want. Lesson 4. Expansion must be careful. Growing too fast can increase risk instead of success. Final thought. In the end, Kingfisher Airlines started as a dream of luxury in the sky, where flying felt special and different. But over time, that dream became too expensive to continue. And when reality finally caught up, it didn't come slowly. It came all at once. So what do we really learn from this story? Was success only on the outside? Or did something inside the company slowly break without anyone noticing? This story reminds us of something very simple. Success is not just about looking good on the outside. It is about being strong and stable on the inside. Because in business, numbers and reality always matter more than image. And in the end, reality always wins. If you enjoyed this story on Meltdown Diaries, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more real-world business stories explained in simple words.